The grid goes down at 6:47 p.m. on a Tuesday in August. Not a dramatic explosion, not a warning siren. The lights just go out. The AC stops. The fridge makes one last click and goes silent. The family of four in this story, let's call them the Millers. They're just getting home from work and school. They have about half a tank of gas, a fridge full of food, maybe a dozen water bottles somewhere in the back of a cabinet, and zero plan. Here's what the next 96 hours actually look like. Not a movie version, the real documented version based on behavioral studies from FEMA, after-action reports from Katrina, Harvey, the 2003 Northeast Blackout, and Puerto Rico after Maria. Hour 0 to 3. Everything's fine, kind of. The Millers light some candles. Someone finds a flashlight. The kids think it's kind of fun. Dad checks his phone, full battery, and sees a vague alert about widespread outage, crews working. No timeline given. They eat leftovers cold. Nobody's worried yet. This is the psychological phase researchers call normalization. The brain defaults to "this will resolve soon." It almost always does, except when it doesn't. The critical mistake happening right now. Nobody's filling the bathtub. Nobody's unplugging the fridge to slow the cold loss. Nobody's identifying how much actual drinking water is in the house. 3 water bottles and a Brita pitcher. That's it. That's the Miller family's water supply. Hour 3 to 8. The heat becomes a problem. August, no AC. House starts retaining heat like an oven. By midnight, it's 84 degrees inside. The baby isn't sleeping. Mom's nursing and needs extra hydration. She's already gone through 2 of those water bottles. The teenager is on his phone, burning through the last 30% of battery. Nobody thought to charge everything immediately when the power went out. That window is gone now. Outside, the neighborhood is quiet. Some people have generators rumbling. Most don't. The gas station 2 miles away, the one that would need power to run its pumps, is dark. This is the detail that surprises people every single time. Most gas stations cannot pump gas without electricity. During Hurricane Sandy, 30% of New Jersey's gas stations were offline for over a week. The Millers have a half tank. They don't know yet how much that matters. Hour 8 to 24. The fridge situation. A fully stocked refrigerator keeps food safe for about 4 hours without power if you don't open it. The Millers opened it 6 times before midnight looking for snacks and cold water. Their fridge hit the unsafe temperature zone around 3 a.m. They don't know this because they don't have a fridge thermometer. Nobody does. By morning, the leftovers, the lunch meat, the milk, it's all in a gray zone. Some of it will make them sick if they eat it. Some won't. They can't tell the difference. Breakfast is cereal with no milk. The kids are irritable. It's already 79 degrees inside at 7 a.m. Here's what a prepared family 2 streets over is doing right now. They're eating a normal hot breakfast because they have a single burner camp stove and a 4-pack of butane. They're drinking clean water because last night they filled their bathtub using a water bob bladder, 100 gallons locked in. Their phones are charged because they have a small folding solar panel sitting on the windowsill. They spent maybe $60 on all of that. Hour 24 to 48. Water becomes the actual emergency. The Millers are out of bottled water. There's tap water still coming out. Municipal pressure runs on gravity tanks and backup generators. But there's a boil advisory now because the treatment plant is running on reduced capacity. They don't have a way to boil water reliably. The stove is electric. The camp stove they thought about buying last summer is still a thought. Dad drives to 3 grocery stores. 2 are closed. 1 has a line around the block and is cash only because the card readers are down. He has $23 in his wallet. He comes back with 2 cases of water and nothing else, having spent 90 minutes and a quarter tank of gas. The dehydration math is simple and brutal. An adult doing light activity in heat needs at least 2 liters a day. A nursing mother needs closer to 3. A toddler needs proportionally more per body weight than an adult. The Millers now have roughly 18 liters for 4 people, one of them an infant. That's about 2 days if they're careful, and it's 91 degrees outside. This is the phase where heat casualties begin. In the 1995 Chicago heat wave, which wasn't even a grid-down event, just a heat wave, 739 people died in 5 days. The majority were people who were isolated, had no water, and didn't recognize the early symptoms of heat exhaustion, fatigue, headache, nausea. The brain interprets all of these as "I just need to rest," rather than "I need water and cooling immediately." Hour 48 to 72. Small problems stack. The toddler has diarrhea, probably something from the fridge gray zone. In a normal situation, not a big deal. In a hot house with limited clean water and no way to get to a doctor, because the pediatric urgent care is running a generator but has a 4-hour wait, it's a different calculation. Diarrhea accelerates dehydration. Toddlers dehydrate fast. Mom is watching the baby's fontanelle, the soft spot on the skull, for signs of sunken appearance, which indicates serious dehydration. This is not a dramatic scenario. This is documented from real post-disaster pediatric case reports. Meanwhile, the teenager cut his hand on a broken glass. Not badly, but they have half a box of Band-Aids and no antibiotic ointment. The pharmacy had a line. They skipped it. Barter is starting to happen on the street. A neighbor with a generator is trading charging time for food. Another family is offering canned goods for baby formula. The informal economy of a grid-down event looks exactly like this. Fast, neighbor-level, and completely dependent on who prepared and who didn't. The Millers have nothing to trade. They have needs. Hour 72 to 96. The reset point. Power comes back. Not everywhere. Some blocks stay dark for another 4 days, but the Millers get lucky. The lights flicker on at 11 p.m. on day 4. They lost about $200 in spoiled food. They have 3 people with mild gastrointestinal symptoms. 1 person is mildly dehydrated but recovering. Nobody died. Nobody was seriously hurt. By disaster standards, this was a minor event with a functional outcome. But here's what the after action on the Miller family actually shows. At no point did they face a problem that $150 in preparation wouldn't have completely neutralized. The water problem. A water bob cost $30. A case of pool shock, calcium hypochlorite, costs $5 and purifies 10,000 gallons. 10,000. The food problem. A 2-week supply of calorie-dense, shelf-stable food, rice, canned coconut milk, canned butter, dried beans, costs under $80 and fits in a single cabinet. The fuel problem, a camp stove and 4 butane canisters, $35 total. Gives you cooking, water boiling, and sterilization. The medical problem, a proper first aid kit with butterfly closure strips for lacerations, extra ibuprofen, electrolyte solution, under $40. The power problem, a folding solar panel and USB rechargeable batteries, $25 to $40. Keeps phones alive, keeps communication open, keeps you informed. The total gap between the Miller family's 96-hour ordeal and a family that handled the same event comfortably is somewhere between $100 and $200 in supplies. Not a bunker, not a generator, not a year of freeze-dried meals. A single afternoon of thoughtful shopping and a bathtub full of water. The grid goes down again eventually. It always does. Somewhere right now, it's already down. The only question is which family you're in.